Fear is a totally crazy thing. Now, it's crazy for a lot of reasons, because when people capitulate to that emotion, it can actually do a lot of harm if it is not viewed correctly. Now, let me just get this straight, because I think this is kind of important. There are times when people experience fear when that fear is absolutely rational and is designed to actually save you from certain chaos, okay? For example, if you are on top of a 20-story building and you get to the edge of the building and you have a fear, that fear is healthy. It keeps you from jumping off the building and killing yourself. Maybe you were a kid and you touched a bit of fire on the stove and it hurts you, and now you have a legitimate fear of sort of touching the stove again. Well, that actually is a fear that works in your favor. That's not a bad thing. There's a fear that we talk about when it comes to the fearing of God, and fearing God is also a very good thing, but that is because it is tempered with a person who is filled with the Spirit and understands what it means to fear the true and living God. But let me tell you what kind of fear is not good. It's the type of fear that causes irrationality. It's the type of fear that backs you into a corner, and when you're backed into a corner, your loss of rational thought causes you to act in a way that is very aggressive and, quite frankly, dangerous, unreasonable, and oftentimes puts you in a place that is worse than the one you started in when you were backed into a corner. The kind of fear I'm talking about is the kind of fear that takes away all common sense. It takes away the ability to be able to problem solve. It takes away the ability to rest and be able to make decisions that are competent and allow you to be able to actually go beyond surviving, but thriving. Now, I've seen people being backed into a corner because of fear, and I've watched them irrationally swing at whatever is causing them to be filled with fear, and they, in essence, make things worse for themselves and continue to destroy themselves by fiat of what they choose to do because their emotions motivate them. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you find yourself in a position where you are being backed in a corner and your irrational fears are driving you to a place of irrationality. By the way, if you don't think that's a real thing today in society, just look around, because fear is the very thing that is causing lots of people to be irrational and do irrational things. You ever seen a guy in his car alone wearing a hijab? You know what I mean when I say that. The passage that I'm going to teach later on today in church is going to be the passage for you, because we're going to learn all about fear. We're going to learn all about anxiety. We're going to learn about the picture of what happened when Jesus' disciples went on a boat with Jesus and things started getting crazy, and you'll be blown away with how God actually handled the situation, and it is going to teach you a whole bunch about how to overcome the irrationality associated with people who capitulate to fear when there is no reason to do so, because we have a God who, with his perfect love, casts out fear. We're going to talk about that. I think it's going to be life-changing. First, second, and third service is going to be awesome. Tune in. I will tie a link to this at the end of this video. You're going to love it. God bless you guys. Happy Sunday.